Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. Z3KO Trinity here. Welcome to Goosebumps Live. That's right, I'm live. Hi, Cool Kid. Hi, El Manuel. Shish konnichiwa to you guys. Today, we're going to be discussing... Hi. We're going to be discussing Goosebumps. Have y'all heard of that? It's kind of a thing in the 90s, you know? This is a Goosebumps vlog. What Goosebumps Live is, it's a Goosebumps vlog, and right now it's at its peak, it's at its beginning, so feel free to comment below. Let me know any changes that you would like me to make to the Goosebumps Live. But as of right now, we're going to be discussing a little book called Welcome to Dead House. But before we get into it, we got to thank the guy who wrote those books. His name is Bob Stein, aka R.L. Stein. He has wrote over 400 different books, like Fear Street, and he's actually written like other like actual books like Red River and different ones like that. But he's most known for Goosebumps, and he has sold over 400 million copies of Goosebumps worldwide. Now, in interviews, R.L. Stein has stated that he never once wanted to be a horror writer. That's not what he, when he was growing up and into the actual business, because he was a publisher, like, or an editor for Schematics. Scholastics, not Schematics, Jesus Christ. But when he was an editor for there, he wanted to just write funny stuff. He wanted to be funny. And he did a short magazine series called Bananas. But his his boss or his coworker one got into some kind of argument with a teenage horror writer, and she told him that he could write a good horror story and for teenagers. And she's like, I want you to go out there and make up a horror story for teenagers. And he said that he's not usually one to back down from like comments like that. So he was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Because growing up, he actually stated that he would go to this barber shop and read Tales from the Crypt comic books. So he's always had a passion for horror, has a passion for stuff like that. I randomly see I like Fortnite. What's up, Edgar, the Clash Royale player? You're kind of new to the channel, so welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see. If you like Goosebumps, then you're definitely going to love this video. And I've never played Fortnite. I'm not one of those that kind of hopped onto that kind of bandwagon. I'm not putting down anyone who does play Fortnite or nothing like that. I'm just saying we each drink different cups of tea. So, but R.L. Stein took the challenge, and he actually wrote his very first Fear Street novel that way. So it made him very successful, and that's what kind of piqued his career. And he jokingly said, well, screw being funny, I'm just going to write scary stuff from now on. So, hey, it worked. Hey, 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 Mr. Cassie. Is it Cassie? Yeah, Cassie. What's up? Thank you for joining. Talking about R.L. Stein. Um, he also talked about when he was a kid. A lot of questions people have asked him were like, are you really not afraid of anything? Because typically when you write scary stories or just horror novels, even for kids like he has, people's asked, do you even get scared? People think there's some kind of freak or something. Well, he stated that he used to get scared of everything when he was a kid. And he pretty much stayed as a shut-in, and he typed on a typewriter and just came up with different stories here and there. But he remembered his fear, the fears that he had as a kid, and he actually used that feeling in his books. Is from what this is all an interview that I had watched. Very interesting. Twist that Goosebumps was still on TV. I'll wish that I thought it said twist for some reason. Yeah, me too. Which it's still on Netflix. Thankfully, I could watch all the episodes on there. I literally watched Goosebumps when it first started coming on TV back in 1995. I was 5 years old then, and it used to come on Fox Network, and I absolutely loved Goosebumps. Fell in love ever since. But I've made a video about my feelings for, not my feelings for R.L. Stein. Jesus Christ, I love you, marry me. No, I did a video basically of how Goosebumps felt for me, what it meant to me, and all that stuff. But I want to know about you guys. So comment below right now and tell me if you like Goosebumps or have liked Goosebumps or just kind of new into it. What intrigues you about Goosebumps? What made you love Goosebumps so much? What was your reasoning? Like I said, if you have not seen my video, it's called R.L. Stein, Please Watch This, which he currently hasn't watched this. Piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding. Oh shit. Dropped my phone. Dropped my pants. Shit. Fucking up everything today, guys. Sorry. I don't have my phone on my carrying case, so it's kind of difficult. We got... That was my show growing up. Cool. Watching all Ginger Dead movies, says Spook, so he doesn't care anything about Goosebumps at the moment. We watch Goosebumps in school on rainy days. The nostalgia, Spook says. Yeah, I agreed. The whole feeling of being back in the 90s. I like the Haunted Hour better, no offense. The Haunting Hour, R.L. Stein has stated, is exactly the same as Goosebumps, but he felt that he could target a more adult audience with that. So the Haunting Hour is more darker than his original Goosebumps ideas, but he has stated that they are pretty much the same. But I agree. I do love the Haunting Hour as myself. I do. Cool Kid says Goosebumps to me was like the Fox Kids version of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yes, I agree. Are You Afraid of the Dark was indeed just as nostalgic as Goosebumps. But now that, and if you're watching this, not live, then please, by all means, comment still and let me know what it meant to you. I have a Chucky. No, I don't own a Chucky doll. Um, I wish I did own a Chucky doll, though. That would be kind of interesting. Oh, fuck. No, I'm just kidding. I actually do own a Chucky doll. Probably had you going there for a second. Watch this.
True classic never goes out of style. I'll be back.
I always come back. Always come in your ass. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, he's going to be a part of my videos from now on. We're going to move on to the actual book. This book right here, I wish I had the first edition. I thought I had first edition, but Mr. Spooks bursted that bubble years ago. Because he stated that the first editions had coming next or something like that on the back, where mine says also available. So this is not a first edition. But it'll do, pig, But yeah, coming soon. Thank you, Spooks. It'll say coming soon is the first editions. But anyway, it's still the same cover, and I still love it no matter what. But the book. This was the very first Goosebumps book to ever come out. Back in 1992, he had written 3 different books. I think his publisher wanted him to come up with 6, but he first originally started with just the first 3, which was Welcome to Dead House, Stay Out of the Basement, and Say Cheese and Die. But today we're going to be discussing Welcome to Dead House, the very first one, which, be jealous, guys, I actually met R.L. Stine in real life and got his autograph. Yeah, it doesn't look like much, but that's how he signed every book, literally the same. And I was literally there talking to R.L. Stine, which is a huge dream come true for me. But welcome to Dead House. Have you guys read the book or watched the show? The book, I remember seeing this book back when I was in school, but it was not one of the first Goosebump books I ever read. I had to do book reports in school where we had to pick a book and then we had to stand in front of class and tell a big summary of what the book was about, how it ended, and what we would review it ourselves. Which, of course, me being a nervous kid, I always hated standing in front of people and doing that kind of stuff. But the very first Goosebump book I ever read myself was, I want to say it was Night of the Living Dummy 1. I'm pretty sure that's the first one I've ever read. But welcome to Dead House. Um, it is a spoiling video, guys. So if you have, for some reason, have not seen or heard of Welcome to Dead House, you are going to be spoiled. Okay, so just want to get that out of the way. But Welcome to Dead House. What I think of Welcome to Dead House, I always thought that it was so interesting how he interpreted zombies. And this is the only zombie Goosebumps book that was ever written, like an actual zombie like book. He's mostly done ghosts and stuff like that, but this is actually a dead house. The people are actually dead, so they don't really refer to them as zombies in the book. They just like title them as the living dead, which we all know as zombies. So, but what I think is so good about the Welcome to Dead House is just the dark feeling. Most of the episode was in the nighttime because it was a dark story where the dead couldn't really be out during the daytime. So it makes sense for it to be a dark setting. So I think that was a really good like atmosphere for the episode. As far as the book went, I really did like the place, how secluded it was. It's just a small town. Nobody hardly really knows about it. It had its tragedy with the chemical plant, and just everyone there is just weird. So the atmosphere is what I really loved about Welcome to Dead House. What about you guys? What's the one thing about Welcome to Dead House that you guys really loved? The characters themselves, Amanda and Josh, I really did like their characters. Cassie says the dog. She liked the dog Petey. Yes, because one time I got nightmares. My cousin got real bad nightmares from this. Graham says the ghost dog is his favorite part of the Welcome to Dead House. We got a bunch of Petey lovers. Which I admit, Petey was a really, really beautiful dog in the episode. Bobby says, Jason! Jason Voorhees is why I like the Welcome to Dead House. But I just love the atmosphere. That's my favorite part about it. That and well, we'll get into my other favorite part about the whole story because it's a difference between the episode and the book. But what I liked about the book, I kind of liked how they were all going to this graveyard for their meetings, which they did in the um, episode. But when I was reading it, a lot more detailed and more stuff had happened from that point that I felt was what made the book really special. And just learning a little bit more about the dad and the mom. But as far as like the my least favorite for the book, my least favorite thing about Welcome to Dead House was the ending of the book. I really did not like how they saw a new family getting ready to move into this place, and knowing what they did, see, they just, instead of warning them, they said, "Who are you?" he demanded. The other members of his family turned to stare at me. His question caught me by surprise. I could hear my dad honking his horn impatiently down the street. Used to live in your house, I found myself answering. And then I turned and ran full speed down to the street. So instead of saying, "Hey, you might not want to buy that house. They're kind of dead people going to kill you and stuff." No, he's just like, "Oh, I used to live there," and then hightails it. So I think that kind of ending was kind of stupid. But for a children's book, I guess he could get away with it. What about you guys? What's your favorite and least favorite thing about the story? Do you like comic books? Have you seen my channel? No, I'm just kidding. I love comics. Do you like collecting books? Yes, I have every Stephen King book he ever wrote. Um, yes, I like reading. I am currently reading between Goosebumps, and I'm reading a story called A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second book of the series. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody, as well. I've sorry to mention it, or forgot to have mentioned it. Jason, everybody talking about Jason during the Goosebumps video. Funny enough, I am wearing my Goosebumps Haunted Mask 2 t-shirt. Spooks, I need to get my hand on some Goosebumps material myself. I really would love to have a beautiful Goosebumps-like background. Is A Court of Thorns and Roses first? Yes. Court of Thorns and Roses is the first book, and that is the second one. I own 4 shirts. I don't own any, and I need to own them. But yeah, my least favorite of the book has to be the ending. I just did not like the ending. As far as book 2 episode, I don't know. I like the episode way better. But they also have a limited edition remake of the or it's not really a remake, but just a reprinted Welcome to Dead House with a limited edition poster inside, which kind of looks quite cool. It's got a big old Slappy, and on the back it has the Horrorland books coming soon. But they also have yet another reprint with a really new, brand new front cover that I kind of want myself. But if I continuously buying different versions of the Goosebumps books, I'll have like nowhere to put them. But the episode, and yes, this is the VHS, the original VHS. The episode of Welcome to Dead House aired in 1990 or 1997. My bad. Which oddly enough, this was the close to last season before the Welcome to Dead House was aired. Yet it was the first book. So I always thought that the first book would be like the first episode, you know. But really fun fact, Welcome to Dead House actually aired on TV on the Fox network June 29th, 1997. That's literally my birthday, June 29th. I did not know this until today. I was looking up a lot of facts about this whole episode and everything like that. So, as soon as I saw actual release date June 29th on Fox Network, I was like, it's my birthday. Graves says, don't like the ending of the book. I love the ending of it. Yeah, I do too. That's my favorite. You don't need the new ones. I have the VHS as well with me. On VHS, I also have Stay Out of the Basement. I own, and I'm proud to say I own every VHS Goosebumps. I'm very proud to say that. I do not own the actual case to one of them. It's the Bride of the Living Dummies slash an old story. But I have a blank VHS case that actually has that in it. But yeah, when the episode aired, and this was the first that I watched. Yes, it's sad because I wasn't one of the people that actually hopped on the book bandwagon with Goosebumps. I read like three of them when I was a kid, and I haven't read any since. And literally, when I first started doing my book reviews, is when I first started reading Goosebumps. So I still haven't read majority of them, but I'm working on it. The actual next book that I'm currently reading is The Girl Who Cried Monster. That's the next one that I'll be reading. But the episode. A little fun fact about the episode. Ben Cook, the kid that played Josh Benson in the episode, he actually appears in two other Goosebumps episodes. He appears as Jerry Hawkins in Piano Lessons Can Be Murdered. Can be murdered. Murdered. And would also appear again as Marty in a Shocker on Shock Street. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, the guy who was the construction worker, which you can see a little glimpse if it's not too blurry, is this dude right here on the back of the DVD wearing the hard hat. He is actually Scott Wickware, and he plays the masked mutant in Attack of the Mutant. He's also, according to this, he plays the Haunted Mask in the Haunted Mask 2. So, very interesting stuff. And there's a lot more different facts about it, like in the very opening scene as they're driving to Darkness Falls, you can see in the background a truck light in the rear view mirror, and you can actually see the record one of the producers recording, or the cameraman recording. But the episode, what I loved about the episode is the actors really did a excellent job portraying this story. I felt that they were very convincing, enough to actually give me nightmares a couple of times. The part that scared me the most was where uh, the kid apparently was underneath the stairs, where he was like reaching up from the stairs. That little scene, that part freaked me out horribly. So yeah, just the simple fact of people inside your home while you're asleep walking around and stuff, that just kind of terrifies me. um, but yeah, I thought that they did a really excellent job with this. My favorite part and the big difference between the episode and the book was the wreath. In the episode, the mom had this ugly ass wreath on a frame that she says was a good luck charm. And in the episode, the family, is it Thurstons, the Thurston family was all like, "You need to burn that shit right now. It's what brought the dead back to life." And mom's like, "Oh, okay, well, my bad." And she throws it in the fire and burns it. But the fact that that was actually the one thing protecting the family, I felt like that missing from the book was just so bad. Like, I loved that part of the whole episode. I thought it was like very, very good. Like, just the simple thing, protecting your family. Otherwise, we would have gotten you the day you moved in, you know? Just that whole meaning behind that wreath and having them burn it and stuff like that, I just felt like that was so powerful. And when I was reading the book, it wasn't in there, and I was like, this wasn't in the book? And then I read, oh, Spook says, hold on. I saw it when it came on TV on Fox at nighttime back in 1997. Spook says, I only read a couple myself. I got into Goosebumps from the TV show, then I read the books. Ghost Pups is my favorite. Ghost Pups. Then Holy Shit Dumb Mom. Yeah, spot on. What is your favorite character? My absolute favorite character was actually I always liked Amanda because I felt like she was one of it's kind of hard to explain. Usually, with me being an older brother, and I used to watch a lot of shows where the older brother is the one that's kind of in charge, taking care of things. Um, when I watched this, it was like one of the first times I ever seen an older sister being in charge and kind of, taking matters into her own hands. And I always thought that it was very admirable for her character. Um, but I also feel like I could relate to her simply because she like sees people in her house and she's all like, "The fuck," and nobody will believe her. So I'm like, why ain't nobody believing her? So I can just kind of sympathize with it. See ya, El Manuel. It's not really sexism. It's just how I grew up. Like when I was growing up, I always foresaw, the older brother kind of thing. But that was the first time I ever seen like an older sister taking charge and stuff like that. So that it was just different for me. But it was a good different. But those are one of my favorite things. My least favorite thing about the episode is the simple fact of how they screwed up the ending, where, and it's like literally the very ending, where, or not the one ending where Petey jumps in the car and turns white, because that was kind of a cool plot twist thing. But the ending where the dead, if they're exposed to sunlight, they die, right? That's what happened in the episode and in the book, if I'm correct. At the end of the episode, the Mr. Dawes, Compton Dawes, the guy who sold them the house, he's the real estate agent guy. He's running after them as they're hauling ass in the car to leave. His hat comes off and he's like totally exposed to the sun, but yet nothing happened. Now, also, during that whole scene, everyone's like melting and turning to smoke and disappearing. But at the end, all of them come walking outside the house. Like, do they re resurrect from the smoke? How does that work? So, I just felt like that was my least favorite of the episode, just for the simple fact that it made no sense whatsoever. But that whole ending with Petey was just cake on, or it was cake on the icing, yeah. Another one of my favorite things about Welcome to Dead House is I love how R.L. Stein himself like introed the video and outroed it. I wish he would have done that with every episode. Like every stinking episode of Goosebumps. I wish he would have been like the guy who talks a little bit about the story and then it's like, here's the episode. Then after the episode, he's like, holy shit, was that scurry or what, guys? I don't mean to be rude, but get on PlayStation Network after this wonderful video I'm enjoying is over. Um, I'll think about it. It just depends because I've got a lot to do. That's why I haven't been on. I turned my system on just so I can have that lovely Goosebumps intro. Yeah, rude spooks. God. Which, speaking of which, maybe it'll help if I turn the controller on.
Nothing's scary.
Please get it where I want it to be. No. I see what keeps going wrong. Alright, there. But we'll leave it at there. But that way I can outro this video with the Goosebumps theme as well. But yeah, I loved Amanda. I loved the characters. The creepiest character, and I can't remember, and I need your guys' help. Who was the main boy, the one that was living in the home doing all the thing? Was his name George or was his name Ray? Because I remember there being a George and a Ray, but I can't remember who was who. So, but whoever that was, the main boy, the tall one with that little gay ass like hat, I always thought that he was like the most terrifying out of the group of the dead. But before we end this video, what do you guys think about the Welcome to Dead House? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you're not watching live and you just are watching this video, feel free to comment below. We all love Goosebumps. We all grew up with it, at least those of us who clicked on this episode. And like I said, please feel free to let me know what I could do differently. Originally, I was thinking of doing like the first 3 books for this first video to make it like really long. But then I thought, well, maybe I should do it one book at a time, book/episode at a time. So feel free to let me know. But I thought we could go into what I like to call the trivia section. And I brought up 10 questions for the Welcome to Dead House. Now you can answer them when you're after the video is done, or you can answer them live. But the first question, I thought this would be something fun to do for every episode. But the first question is, what is the name of the town the family moved into? That's the number 1 question. What is the name of the town the family moved into? Number 2. What is the family's dog's name? Spook's got it right. He's the first one I see. Hold on, let me see this. No. Ray, thank you. So Ray is the one I was thinking of. I like this. You clever bastard. What's your favorite game? Silent Hill 4. Dark Falls, Spook says, and PD, Spook says. He's on a roll, but if everyone feel free to speak in. Yeah, number 2 was, what is the family's dog's name? I could tell you the list of things that they got up. Like, for example, what is the name of the town the family moved into? A, Darkness Falls. B, Dark Falls. C, Dark Deep. Or D, Dark Day. Number 3. Where does the dog lead Josh and Amanda? Think about that one. Number 4. When Amanda and Josh see the town gathered in the cemetery, how do the townspeople notice them? Ooh, that's a good question too. Number 5. When Josh and Amanda enter their home, they are alone. True or false? So I'll reread that one because it was a little confusing. When Josh and Amanda enter their home, they are alone. True or false? It doesn't specify when they enter their home, but I think I know what scene they're referring to. What caused people to turn into the Walking Dead? Well, comment after the video. This is literally the end of the video, but you can go back and watch just so you can re-answer the questions. So number 6 was, what caused people to turn into the Walking Dead to begin with? Cassie got it right. I think she said, yeah, she got it right. Number 7, what do the neighbors convince the family to burn? We literally just talked about this. They convinced them to burn flowers. To burn wood. Yeah, y'all need to be burning that wood. This is a long winter we're going to have. What? Y'all need to burn these Twilight books. Why do the zombies want the family? Why does the zombies want that family to begin with? Number 9, what kills the zombies? And finally, number 10, what does the family stop for on the way out of town? I thought those were really fun questions. If you guys, at the end of the video, want to comment below one good question for me, just so I can test my trivia, and I promise you I will not look it up, you can feel free to ask me a question of this episode, the Welcome to Dead House. That wraps things up. I didn't want it to be, a too long video. Alpha Kitty. Sad to say, I don't remember any of the details from this book. And probably for a reason. But feel free to ask me a question about the Welcome to Dead House. I love trying to answer it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I don't know how long all of them are going to be. This one was particularly long because I wanted to state facts about R.L. Stine and different things like that. The next episode, of course, is going to be Stay Out of the Basement. And I want to be doing these videos every Friday. So we can call it Goosebumps Friday. Does that sound good? So every single Friday, I'm going to go live with a Goosebumps live video. So next week, we're going to have Stay Out of the Basement. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for participating. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had fun. Hope you learned a little bit about the old Welcome to Dead House. I'm Z3KO Trinity. My controller died. There we go. Let's get this nice little... Oh, fuck you too. Right, let's get this nice little outro going. Thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all in the next video. Remember, continue to viewers beware. You're in for a scare. Deuces.